I'm Shohei Yano. I'm 20 years old, and I'm already working full-time, which is rare these days. There's a reason why I didn't go to university. Just before I got into junior high school, my father disappeared. My mom and I, who were left behind, became poor. My mom worked very hard, but we were still unwealthy, and I had an issue buying my school uniform. I couldn't afford it, so I got one secondhand from my mom's friend's son. But I grew unexpectedly, and the uniform was too small for me by the time I was in my second year. My mom tried to get new ones, but I refused. But because of that, everyone in my class would make fun of me, and I became isolated within the class. Yuki Akino, the class representative, especially teased me a lot. The junior high school days came to an end, and as the graduation ceremony was approaching, I got a message from Akino.
Hey, when the graduation ceremony's over, we're thinking of going on a trip, but you want to come?
I'm okay, thanks. I don't have the money.
I thought so. I mean, you were wearing your tiny uniform until the very end.
Leave me alone! If you knew, then you didn't have to invite me.
Don't get so mad. I have good news for you.
What?
My dad will pay for everybody on the trip. Nobody will have to pay for the hotels.
What a luxurious trip. A president is on a different level.
Not really, but maybe for you, yeah. So all you need is the money for transportation and food. How about now?
Thanks for the invitation, but I still can't go. Even if the hotel is free, I bet the other stuff will cost quite a lot. And besides, I already have plans to work part-time.
A part-time job? Even though you're not even in high school yet?
I begged them and made a deal. Even if I start working this month, I'll get my first paycheck in April. But I guess strictly speaking, it's not allowed.
Wow! Is your family that poor? I'm starting to feel sorry for you. I made you feel miserable.
Don't worry. Have fun.
Yeah, I'll enjoy it for you. See you at our reunion.
That was our last conversation. He wasn't seriously inviting me. He just wanted to tease me for being poor before we graduated. Akino's father was a president and their family was super rich. He got plenty of allowance, so he would use a lot of money on his friends, which was the source of his popularity. It was his fault that I got isolated within the class, because he would openly tease me. But I was able to say goodbye to him, and started working while going to high school. I was studying hard, but I gave up going to university, and started working full-time at the place I was working part-time. 2 years go by, and I become 20 years old. After graduating high school, I studied to get lots of qualifications, and I was making a decent amount of money, so I wasn't poor anymore. And as the reunion approached, I got a message from Akino for the first time in 5 years.
How you doing? Hope you're doing alright. Do you remember me?
It's been a while. Since junior high?
Yeah, it brings back memories, doesn't it? I still remember you wearing your tiny uniform.
Now that you mention it, what do you want?
Are you going to the reunion?
Yeah, I think so.
Really? You need a suit or a hakama to attend.
I know.
You couldn't afford a uniform, but can you buy a suit? I'll lend you mine if you want. They're all expensive ones, so I'm sure it'll be memorable.
Thank you for your kindness, but don't worry. I've got a suit. I sometimes wear it for work.
Work? What about uni?
I don't go.
Ugh, really? Dude, your life sucks.
Did you message me just to make fun of me?
No, don't get mad. We're going to borrow a venue for a party after the reunion. So I messaged to let you know.
Then you could have gotten straight to the point. I spent my whole break messaging you.
Must be rough working at a shitty company.
Yeah. It has been 5 years, but he seems to be the same as he was back then. I couldn't even be mad at him. The reunion was over, and I went to the party.
Hey, you're wearing a suit that actually fits you. Looks like a cheap one, though.
He hadn't grown up a single bit since then. Akino was wearing a suit that looked expensive, but he looked silly and lacked class. I was thinking of leaving soon when...
Yano, long time no see.
Yeah. An unfamiliar but beautiful girl came to talk to me. To be honest, I don't remember her at all. I would remember if I knew a beautiful girl like her, but I couldn't just ask who she was. I talked to her for a while, not knowing who she was, and we ended up exchanging numbers. I instantly received a message.
It was great seeing you at the party the other day. You should have come to the after party as well.
It was good to see you, too. I'm not exactly good with those kinds of situations, so,
You haven't changed a bit, have you? Yano, you don't remember me at all, do you?
You can tell?
Yeah, you were so lost when I spoke to you. You were trying to remember who I am the entire time we were talking.
Sorry, I can't remember who you are at all. I didn't have friends back then.
But still, you couldn't even remember?
I'm so sorry. I only know your name from your account. Tomomi is your first name, but what's your last name?
It's Sawaki. It hasn't changed.
What? Sawaki?
You remember now?
Yeah, I remember now. But I can't believe it.
What do you mean?
Well, you've changed quite a lot since then. You look completely different.
In what way?
You've become very beautiful.
Thanks. You become handsome too, Yano.
Not really. I haven't changed much.
Yes, you have. By the way, Akino was saying at the after party that we should gather some time for a barbecue or something. You should come too, Yano. I'm Tomomi Sawako, a 20-year-old student. I was trying hard when I was in junior high school for a certain reason. That's why I used to look like this back then. But I had a crush on someone. I liked Yano, who was in the same class as me. Everyone was teasing him for his small uniform. But in other words, he was that tall. His grades and ability to play sports was higher than the average person. My passion for him reintegrated once again when I saw him at the reunion party. He is handsome and was a lot more mature compared to the other guys because he is already working. I wanted to get closer to him, so I approached him and exchanged numbers. The efforts paid off, and we started getting closer to each other. But on the other hand...
Are you coming to the barbecue next week, Tomomi?
Yeah, I'm thinking of going.
Then do you want to go together with my car? Got a new car the other day.
Thanks, but I'm okay.
Why? Are you going by train? The place is quite far from the station.
I'm going with Yano.
Yano? The guy with the tiny uniform?
That's like over 5 years ago.
But that was hilarious. I still find it funny after all this time.
I don't think so.
Really? Why are you going with him? Were you guys close?
We started talking after the reunion party.
Whatever. So you're going in his car?
Yeah.
I bet he's driving some cheap secondhand car. Mine is definitely more comfortable than his.
I don't know what he drives. I'm not interested in cars anyways, so I don't really care.
If you don't care, ride with me. I promise, it will be super fun if you come with me. Let's do it.
Thanks for the invite, but I'm alright. I already promised Yano I'd go with him anyways.
So loyal. That's what makes you cute, though.
Thanks.
I'll see you on the day, then.
Like this, Akino constantly approaches me after seeing me at the reunion party. I always reply, trying to imply that I don't like him, but he doesn't get it. He used to make fun of me for being plain and boring. He thinks I don't know, but I know he was saying stuff behind my back. It was when we were children, so I don't want to be all fussy about it. But he hasn't grown a single bit since then, so I still dislike him. On the day of the barbecue, I went to the place with Yano and wanted to have fun, but Akino was constantly trying to talk to me, so I couldn't have fun at all. The bit I enjoyed the most was the way to the barbecue when we were alone in the car. The following day, I got a message from Akino again, and I was at my limit.
When did you go home yesterday? I was surprised because you just vanished.
Sorry about that. Me and Yano had early mornings, so we went home early.
Are you going out with Yano?
I don't know, but I want to.
Really? You should reconsider. He doesn't have a future.
That's none of your business.
But for real, there's so many other guys better than him. Like me, for example.
Is that because you have more money?
that as well, but I'm the future president of my dad's company. I have a higher status as a human being.
I see. So you're going to succeed your father.
Yeah, future guaranteed, right?
So you're going to work for me then.
What?
My father is the president of the Sawaki group. Your father's company is in our group, right?
That's not funny.
Do you recognize my father?
So it's true.
Yeah, I'm going to succeed my father as well. Not my husband, but me. We've both turned 20, so why don't we talk like adults and remind ourselves who's in charge here?
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, of course.
Tomomi told me about this later on when we started dating. I couldn't stop laughing. And things didn't end there. I heard this from a friend who goes to university, but Akino, who was embarrassed by Tomomi, got a bad drinking habit. Just that would have been fine, but he drove while he was drunk and had a car crash. His father was furious with him, and his credit cards and allowance were taken from him. His friends all drifted away because he didn't have any more money. And he currently looks miserable.